Sit down in our session. It's like really tense, really awkward. My ex was sitting there like, so why do we have an emergency session? The therapist was like, Jamie, do you want to start? And I just started crying and I was like, I want a divorce. You know, it's hard for me to like say the words. I was like, I'm done. I want a divorce. He sat there quiet. I'm sitting next to him crying. He didn't move. He didn't look at me. He didn't react at all. He just was stone cold. And eventually our therapist was like, would you like to respond? He goes, honestly, I'm just shocked. I was like, you're what? I like became a dragon. And I know, and I want to be clear, our marriage deteriorated because of both of us. It was not his fault. We both became toxic versions of each other, of ourselves. And we both, led to the demise of our marriage. It's okay. We both were complicit in that. But I'm thinking like, we've been in therapy for 2 years and we're actually worse now because we're both growing separately and we're not growing back together. Like you cannot, like, I was stunned that he would say shocked instead of like, yeah, I get it. Like take the mask off for a minute and just acknowledge that this has been not fun for anybody and this has gotten worse. And I was like, this has happened, this hasn't happened, blah, blah, blah. And ugh. I just said, honestly, if you are shocked, then you are not paying attention. And that just tells me everything that I need to know.
See, here's the thing about that, right? I've heard and I've seen so much content about women that were basically saying that these are great guys, decent guys, but they're just not happy. They're just not happy in the relationship, and it's just time they feel like it's time for them to leave, it's time for them to move on, and they've adopted that mindset of, Tia, I've graduated from marriage, and it's time to move on to something greater. And you fast forward to years later, and they realize that was like their biggest mistake, their biggest regret is leaving the person that wanted to spend the rest of their lives with them. And I don't have any issue with the guy basically just saying, hey, let's do it. You want to get a divorce? I mean, I'm cool with it. I'm completely cool with that. If that's something that you want to do, I'm not going to fight you on it. And she was expecting for this man to fight for what? You say you want to get a divorce, you know what I mean? It would have been completely different if you would have came to me and you was like, yo, I don't know what's going on right now. I'm going through some things and, our connection, I don't feel like our connection is as strong as it used to be. Like, what can we do to fix this? Lay that thing on the table and let's try to figure it out, because in a relationship or in a marriage, that's what you're supposed to do. The only option B is to see option A through. You got married and you said till death do you part. Like, these are the vows. And all of a sudden you got so many people opting out because of a feeling, a temporary thing. I feel like this right now. And I'm ready to make a lifelong decision based on a temporary feeling. And to those individuals, listen, marriage is not for you. Go on about your business, man. Go on about your business. You're not about to sit here and hang nothing over my head and think that you're about to string me along and I'm going to be begging and pleading and fighting for something that you're already done made up your mind about. You're ready to leave. So I'm going to allow you to leave. So that was a part 2 to this video, and we're going to get into it.
We went home that night. We didn't speak. He slept on the couch. I woke up and went to work the next day. Came home. He was playing PlayStation that night. I sat next to him. We hadn't talked in 24 hours. And I said, can we talk about what happened yesterday? And he was just playing, just looking straight ahead. And he was like, what's to talk about? In my mind, I'm thinking, this is our last ditch effort to like steer the ship around, And I was like, so what are we going to do? And he just kept playing. And he was like, I already got an apartment. I already took my name off of the lease. He had done things within that 24 hours. He had opened up the filing folder of his single man life and went ahead and got all the shit done.
Yeah.
Salute to that brother. Hey, I'm hoping that there are no children involved. The fact that his name was on the lease means they were renting and they weren't buying. So listen, I'm just going to go ahead and kickstart this thing, because the reality is most of the time, you have people like this young lady or whatever, or people with this mindset. I don't want to speak it. I don't know her personally. So I'll speak to the mindset. My bad. You have individuals that think like this, that are literally holding their person back, or they're holding their spouse back, and they don't even realize it. Like, I'm trying to make it from point A to point B, and I can't have you in the ship because you have people like that are literally poking holes in the freaking boat. We're never going to make it to the next destination because of you. You're literally the reason why you're holding us back. Now, you can go ahead and do what you want to do by your damn self. You want to continue to stay in that spot, which a lot of them honestly do. Again, I'm speaking to a person that has this type of mindset. They think, or they want to believe, that the other person that they're in a relationship with or that they're married to is the problem. No, absolutely not. The issue and the problem in the situation is the person that can't get their emotions in check. The person that want to constantly push and put the blame on the other person. They're not the problem. And I guarantee you, because I've seen plenty of situations like this, where you have these exact same people that think like this, that want to come to the front of the congregation 2, 3, 5, 10 years later and say, yo, I've made a mistake. Can we revisit this? What are you sitting down beside me for? No, you already said that you want to get a divorce. You didn't say, I want to work on things. I want to figure out where we went wrong. What can we do? You done already made these decisions. So I'm going to make it easier for you. All right? I'm going to play my game. I done already did all the heavy lifting. Because I think it's going to take like maybe a year, depending on how long they've been married. It's going to take like a year before they can actually finalize the divorce. But I already took my name off the lease. Listen, I already got a doggone apartment. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to be clean cut. We go our separate ways. No children, nothing involved or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You go about your business. I'm going to go on about mine. And I'm telling you, in most of these cases, I'm just going to be honest with you, the guy ends up living and being in a happier situation than people like this that self-sabotage everything in their freaking life. Man, it's so crazy. I see so many of these videos. I'm going to be doing plenty of them because it's like a buttload of them on this on TikTok. So y'all going to be seeing a lot more of these videos. It's crazy. But honestly, I want to hear from y'all. What are y'all thoughts behind situations like this? How often do you guys see that people, not just women, but people oftentimes that have went through some type of trauma or some things that they haven't made it through, they haven't went and seeked any therapy, any professional help, and they end up literally self-sabotaging every single last good situation, whether it be business, whether it be personal relationships. They always end up messing things up for themselves based on a temporary feeling. Let me know down in the comments and let's talk about it, all right? Until the next time, y'all be blessed, y'all be beautiful, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Blueberry, Burberry, button-up. Tan skin, mixed race, buttercup. Canada weather, got a bundle up. I'm tryna work, she hit my phone, she wanna, whoa.